Okay, good morning, everyone. How are you doing today? Good morning, online. Good morning. All right, so hope everyone are doing good. And yes, I'm also doing good. Little bit kitch kitch. Yeah. Wait, weeks. Where? Give me no. Okay. Right. Online. New. New. Okay. All right. Anyone new today? I know you. Okay. Okay. All right. You, right? So you can meet me after the class. All right, Nana. So let's move on. So what did we discuss in our last class? Right? Services. Let's have a quick shootout round. And when I'm doing the shootout round, please, everyone need to open your mouth and then try to answer the questions because those are exactly the interview questions that generally in companies they'll ask. Okay, let's go ahead. Which is a service where you can create virtual machines? EC2. And then what is the full form of EC2? Elastic Compute Cloud. Elastic Compute Cloud. Just a second. Admin is there? No. Okay, chairs are there. Okay. All right. Okay. So, the full form of EC2 is Elastic Compute Cloud. So, what is the definition of EC2? EC2 is a service from AWS where we can launch EC2 instances. Where we can launch EC2 instances. Fantastic. And then this every service in AWS will be either regional or global. Our EC2 is regional or global? Regional. So 95 or 98% of the services are regional only. Okay. And what is normal load balancer definition? We distribute the traffic to the multiple servers. And what is this load balancer called in AWS? Elastic load balancer. Elastic load balancer. And what is the definition of elastic load balancer? Yes. Can you help her with the chair, please? You can sit down here. Okay. So load balancer which distribute the traffic to, can you call the admin, please? We have, you are? Okay. Arjun Leda? కొన్ని chairs కొన్ని పెట్టమని చెప్పిన. Oh, so sorry, online. So I should have muted. Okay. Load balancer which distribute the traffic to multiple EC2 instances across availability zones. Okay. So load balancer is specific to, okay, by the way, load balancer is completely managed by AWS. Load balancer is a server or a service? Load balancer is a service. Is it possible to log into the load balancer or access the load balancer? Access. How do you access the load balancer? Using DNS name. Using what? DNS name. Fantastic. And then which is a service? కొన్ని chairs ఏవా? So which is a service for easy and quick deployment of applications in AWS? Elastic Beanstalk. So in general, in platform as service, do we have any control on the servers? No, we don't have any control. But whereas in Elastic Beanstalk, do you have control on the servers or not? Yes, we do have. And what is the backbone of Beanstalk? EC2. Backbone of Beanstalk is EC2. And this Elastic Beanstalk will launch EC2 instances behalf of us. So do we have control on it? We have control, but is recommended to control? No. Um, Okay. So everyone has joined, no, already. Okay, ask them to contact admin ko. Okay. Okay. And whenever we give any whenever you get any application to you, what are the two services that you get in your mind to deploy the application? EC2. Mainly first you need to come up with EC2 and then Beanstalk, Elastic Beanstalk. Don't call Elastic Beanstalk as EBS. Don't give the shortcut because EBS is defined as something else in coming days. So here we should call it as Elastic Beanstalk. And which is a service where everything is readily available. You just need to use it. Lightsail. Which one? Lightsail. Very good. What is the disadvantage of Lightsail? No auto scaling. Fantastic. And which is the service used for automation purpose? Lambda. Which is a service? Lambda. So Lambda is serverless or server based? Serverless. Lambda is for automation. And Lambda, can you run the code without servers? Yes. What do we create in Lambda? Functions. What do we create? Functions. And these functions can be written in different languages or not? Which is the most commonly used language? Python. So if you have, and where are all the events are stored? Event bridge. And if you have multiple EC2 instances, and if you want to stop those EC2 instances at night, so will you go and stop it manually or will you automate it? Automate. So which service that you get your mind? Lambda. So Lambda is for what purpose? Automation, where you can write the Python code and then execute. So does the Lambda will run by itself? No, someone need to wake up. Is our language is fine, but we need to what? Invoke. What we need to say? Invoke. We need to invoke or trigger. Okay, no, you're fantastic on that already. So let's move on to next few other services today. Okay. Event bridge. So which is a service where all the events are stored? Event bridge. I know that you know. I know that you know what. Okay. All right, now. So let's move on to today's fantastic topic. So I just want to take you few many years back. I still remember in my college days, definitely your college days, my college days are completely different. Okay. But there might be few people that same year college days. Okay. Online, anyone please help me. Huh? So way back in 2006, 7, probably. You might be in 5th class. Huh? I know. Right. Online. So I still remember I was doing some project. I was computer science background. I was doing some project. And those computers were not the computers that you have at the moment. Do you remember the old computers where you have this much big what a monitor in the back end tube will be there and big CPUs will be there, remember? Okay. So, and those were the days where computers was coming up. It was not that much superly came. So I want to store some files so that I need to do some project. I have some documents where I need to store. On those days, we have only one external storage available. Anyone knows that what is the first external storage that we had? Floppy. Well, who is that? Okay. Right? So floppy disk. Remember? So I think most of you people don't know about the floppies, but at least in my age of people, definitely they might have used floppies. Do you remember the black color wala? How much size? Don't show with hand. No. Right? So floppy. Do you remember the floppy? What is the size of the floppy? Anyone remember? It was 2 MB. How much? 2 MB. 2 MB. Do you remember? 2 MB, I'm saying, not GB. It is 2 MB. If you take one small photo selfie, that itself is 2 MB nowadays. You're getting it, right? So that black color floppy, that was just only 2 MB, where we used to store only few documents. Only few, not one of only few documents. If you take one Word document nowadays, that itself is more than 20 MB. There is nothing inside. Right? So I still remember I used to collect the bunch of floppies in order to submit my project. Right? So floppies were sufficient. Floppy was sufficient for you? No. So after floppies, we have something called CDs. At least, do you know CDs? You might have used CDs a lot, right? CDs. So how much, do you remember the size of the CD? It was 700 MB. How much? 700 MB. But this 700 MB is also sufficient. Huh? No, it was not sufficient. And then we got what? DVDs. Now, at least did you bond at that time? DVDs area, right? Okay. So DVDs era was there. Do you remember DVDs? 3 movies in 1 DVD? And then you used to get it for rent for 20 rupees per hour. Remember? Okay. So that was almost 4.7 GB. How much? 4.7 GB. But that was also sufficient. No, later what we got? Pen drives. What is the pen drive size? On a maximum 128 GB. What, that was also sufficient for you? No, later what we got? Hard disks. What is the maximum size? Maximum is 2 terabyte. But is that 2 terabyte is also sufficient? If you go for vacation with your, friends, definitely the 2 terabyte will be full. Yes or no? For one vacation itself, right, the 2 terabyte storage will be full. And also many people, what we do is here, right? Many people, what we do is we will think that we have a lot of data. For backups, we use this external hard disk. Yes or no? For backups, we use this external hard disk. Can you tell me, if just in case of that hard disk fell down, it's gone or not? It's gone. And just in case that hard disk is corrupted, your data is gone or not? It's gone. So just in case something happened, all your data is lost or not? But you are thinking that that is a backup for your entire data. Is that good that to think about that backup? No. So here, this hard disk size 2 terabyte is also not sufficient for you, and it is not safe for you, and it is not secure for you, and you need something else. Do we get anything beyond this hard disk now? No, that was the maximum hard disk that we have. So we don't have anything else after that. So from other side, AWS is watching all these problems. So AWS was watching that initially were on floppies, CDs, DVDs, pen drives, hard drives, etc. And for that reason, AWS came up with a new service which is completely secure and reliable. And here, what is the problem that you have, Nana? Tell me, what's the problem that you have here? In hard disk, 2 terabyte is sufficient for you? 2 terabyte is not sufficient for you. And is it secure? It is not secure. It is safe? It's not safe. So what you need more space and more security, more safe stuff, right? So for that reason, AWS came up with an extraordinary service which is called S3. Say that everyone. Simple storage service. Say that, Nana. Definitely, it is one of the important certification question. You will get a certification question on this. What is the full form of S3? Simple storage service. Now here in AWS, most of the services will start with simple and end with service. Because in certification questions, definitely you will get confused. You know, what are the answers they will give? So what is the full form of S3? The answers are, number 1, simple storage service. Number 2, storage simple service. Number 3, service simple storage. Number 4, storage simple service. You got confused now only, right? Yes or no? For that reason, I'm just giving one small hint that you can remember for your entire life. So that is, tell me honestly, whatever that we have learned till now, it's simple or not? Louder. Simple or not? Yes, simple. So here also, most of the service in AWS will start with simple and with service. Simple and with service. What service is this? Storage service. Now combine it. Simple storage service. Now, is there any chance that you confuse? Tell me, what is the full form of S3 now? Simple storage service. You don't need to buy hard. Everything will start with simple and with service. So we call it as simple storage service. Like this, there is a service for sending notifications. Now, can you form the service name? Simple notification service. Shortcut SNS. Understood? So when I ask a question, which is a service used to send notifications? SNS. There is a service like used to send emails. SES. Full form? Simple email service. Which is a service used to send emails? SES. Notifications? SNS. Storage? S3. Understand? So this is how you need to answer fatafat if any interviewer asks the question. Okay. All right. So this is a service, Nana, and S3 is here. Hard disk was 2 terabyte, which is not sufficient for you. And S3 came, AWS came, and he invented a service called here S3, which is completely unlimited storage. What storage? Unlimited. S3 limited storage, unlimited storage. S3 is unlimited storage. It's completely unlimited. So guys, what I did is this from now onwards, writing by myself here, everything is taking a lot of time. So what I do is I already written for you. First, what I do, I'll explain and I'll go and show that. So that, you know, we can learn more things and I can take more time for explanation for you. Otherwise, writing will take time, right? So can I continue like this? Right? No problem, right? So it is better for you only. Yeah. Okay, Nana. So it's limited or unlimited? Unlimited storage. Similarly, from Google also, they came up with one service. What service is that? Google Drive. Nana, that is from Google and S3 is from AWS. Both are same to same. What we do with the Google Drive? We will upload the files. We'll upload the files, we'll download the files, we'll access the files. Now, question for you here is it possible to execute any files in Google Drive? Can you install anything in Google Drive? Can you run any files in Google Drive? What we can do, we can just only upload it, download it, access the files. Yes or no? Similarly, here also in AWS, we can just upload the files, download the files, and access the files. Okay, now can you upload only particular files? You can upload any kind of files. Any kind of files. There are no restrictions here. In S3, we can upload any kind of files. Instead of calling any kind of files, we can also call it as flat files. What files? Flat files. Flat files meaning any kind of files. So here you can upload any kind of files. Okay, is it possible to execute any file in S3? Answer is no. Is it possible to run any files in S3? Is it possible to install any files in S3? Nothing. S3 is purely storage purpose. Remember, S3 is purely what purpose here? Storage purpose. And also, S3 is serverless. How Google Drive is serverless? Google Drive is serverless or not? It is just a service for us. It's just a service for us. So it is completely serverless. Whereas S3 is also serverless. So you just need to go to AWS console, go to S3 and start uploading the files. That's it. Do we need any server to log in here? No. So S3 is completely serverless. Okay. As it is serverless, guys, as it is serverless, do we need to worry about the performance? Do we need to worry about the performance? Do you worry about the scalability? Do you need to worry about elasticity? Nothing. It's completely managed by AWS. Similarly, like load balancer is there. Load balancer is a service or server? Service. Load balancer is a service. Do we need to manage, worry about performance, scalability, elasticity, anything about the load balancer? No. Similarly, whichever is a service, we don't need to worry about that at all. Everything is completely managed by AWS. Got it now? Online, you're getting it? Okay. And very important thing. Let's say, for example, I need a name. What is your name? Pramit. Yeah. Pramit. So Pramit, he has a laptop. He has a laptop. What type of laptop is this? Windows laptop, for example? Okay, this is Windows laptop. So guys, here he saw with me that I have so many movies. So what I do is, he asked me, Pramit asked me, sir, share me that movies. So I have shared that in pen drive with him. What he'll do, he will copy that entire files, entire movies in his laptop or not. So how do he copy? Will he copy everything in one place as in desktop? No, right? What he'll do, he'll create a nice folder. Yes or no? He'll create a nice folder. Call it as Hollywood, Tollywood, Bollywood. Yeah, any wood, any other woods, right? So clearly he'll create a folder. Study material, okay, good. So inside the folder, what we put, Nana, we'll put the files. Yes or no? Normal thing, don't think too much. So we create a folder. Inside that, what we have the files. Can you tell me one movie name? Okay, Pushparaj. Okay, so Pushpa.mp4, for example. So here in his laptop, he created a folder. Inside the folder, what he has? Files. And what is the file name here? Pushpa.mp4. That is in his laptop. That is in his laptop. Similarly, in S3, we also have a structure to follow. So in S3, we need to also create a folder or not? But we should not call it as folder. We should call it as bucket. What? Normal, not your hostel bucket. Right? Bucket. What we call it here? Bucket. Bucket you can consider as a folder only. But in S3, we call it as what? Bucket. Say that from your mouth. What is that? In S3, what do we create? Buckets. What do we create? Bucket. What does the bucket contain? Files. And that files we call it as here objects. What we call here? Objects. And we need to have the name of the file, we call it as key. Name of the file we call it as here key. Now question for you. What is a bucket? That is a normal language that you know that we have learned. But exactly what is bucket meaning? So we should say it is a container of objects. It's a container of objects. So what does the bucket contain? Objects. What does the bucket contain? Objects. So many people will say, if I ask a question like what is a bucket, and they will say object. No, bucket is not an object. It's a container of object. No. What does your hostel bucket contain? Water. R should be rolling. So what that is water, right? So where is the water? In the container. So container is nothing but here bucket. So here also in this bucket, what do we have? Objects. So remember, bucket is called nothing but container of objects. If someone asks what is an object, what do you say? Did I say that? No. What is an object? Object is a file. What is an object? Object is a file. Object is a file. And what is a key, Nana? Name of the file, or name of the file, or name of the object, we call it as here key. Is it clear? Okay, again. So what do we create in S3? Bucket. What is a bucket? Container of objects. What is an object? Object is a file. What is the name of the file called? Key. What is the key? Name of the file. Clear? Nana, in S3, what are we creating? Buckets. And what are we uploading? Objects. That is why S3 is called, S3 is object-based storage. Very, very important certification question. So S3 is what based storage? Object-based storage. S3 is what based storage? Object-based storage. Perfect certification question. Understood? Online, is this clear till here, everyone? And S3 is global or regional? Regional. S3 is regional. And buckets are also regional. Remember, S3 is regional. S3 is regional. And also buckets are regional. And there is one fantastic feature from S3 they have launched. Do you know, first of all, what is static website, Anna? What is that? Static website. Do you know what is static website? What is static website? No interaction, right? So no interaction, in the backend, no DB. No DB. It's just a plain. So the best example is HTML files, right? So those who don't know HTML, that's completely fine. But these are all plain files, static files. What we call here static files, where the content is not changed at all. Whatever the content it is showing on the website, it will be the same content. Is there any dynamic nature is happening in the backend connecting to the database here? No. So if there are no, yes, W3 schools, all these things, they're all Wikipedia, all these are static files or not here. So all these are all here static files. So if I want to host some static files, basically website, static website. Okay, generally, forget this. Generally, I'm asking one question to you. I came to you and I have a group of HTML files, website. I have a website developed in HTML. I came to you and asked, can you please take this, deploy on AWS, give me the URL. What you do? How you do? Which service you choose? Which one? Okay, what are the services that you get in your mind first? EC2, Elastic Beanstalk. Which one will you select between these two? Huh? EC2. Elastic Beanstalk is basically completely managed by AWS, right? So it's better we'll go with your EC2. Okay, Nana. If you go to EC2, how do you deploy? First, you need to launch EC2 instance or not? One is enough or multiple we need? Multiple. Minimum two. Minimum two. Or you can go with the three. So in all these three, I have a static website. I have a deployed. Static website I have deployed. Now tell me, can I give these three URLs to customer? No. What I need to implement here? Fantastic. Fantastic. What I need to implement? Load balancer. And if 3 goes down, you have the problem. But what I need to implement on top of it? Auto scaling we need to implement. So we need to do this much hangama or not? We do this much hangama to set up a static website. To set up a static website. But we should say really thanks to AWS that if you have static files, if you have static website, you no need to go to EC2. Simply go to S3. Create in S3, what do we create? Bucket, and just upload files, the static files, and enable static website. That's it. That's it. If you just create a bucket, upload these static files, and then enable static website, that's it. And S3 will give the URL, and that is completely serverless. Completely serverless. And as it is, see, S3 is giving the URL or not? As S3 is serverless, do I need to worry about the performance of this URL? Do I need to worry about the performance, scalability, elasticity about all this website here? No, it's completely managed by AWS. It's completely managed by AWS and S3 here. Now tell me, which one is better? Which one is better? Going to EC2 is better or going to S3 is better for static files? Static website. Which one? S3 is better. Remember, this is also one of the certification question that if in certification they will give you one question paragraph saying that so you have HTML files, which service is better to host the static application? So then our static website, which one do you choose? S3. Clear? So S3 is also a very big service. So this overview is completely enough for now here at the moment, right? Okay, now let me ask you a question. I have a lot of files and photos. Which service do you recommend to store? S3. I have a HTML static files. Which service do you recommend for hosting? S3. S3 is server based or serverless? Serverless. S3 limited storage, unlimited storage? Unlimited. In S3, S3 is what based storage? Object based storage. In S3, what do we create? Bucket. What does a bucket contains? Objects. What is an object? File. What is the name of the file? Key. Super. Clear? Clear? Online this clear, Nana? This is what I wrote it here. See, Nana? Same here, yes or no? What is the full form of S3 here? Simple storage service. S3 limited or unlimited? Unlimited. S3 is used to just store the files. Any kind of flat files, meaning any kind of files. With S3, what we can do? We can upload, download, and access the files. Can you execute any files in S3? No. Is it possible to install anything on S3? S3 is serverless or server based? As it is serverless, everything handled by AWS. In S3, what do we create? Bucket. What is a bucket? Container of object. What is an object? Object is a file. What is the name of the object called? Key. S3 is Regional. Buckets are regional. Full form of S3. Simple storage service. Notifications. Simple notification service. Shortcut. SNS. So what is the shortcut? What is the service used to send emails? SES. And there is also something called queue. So developers knows this. We have a messaging queues concept. So here also, which is a service used for queue purpose? SQS, full form of SQS, simple queue service. And S3 supports static website hosting or not? Yes. What you need to do? Create a bucket, upload the files, and enable the static website hosting. And who will provide URL? S3. And do you need to worry about the performance of that URL? Completely managed by Khatam. Understood? In AWS, most of the services will start with simple and with service. Pranjal, yes, that's a pub sub queue only. Yeah. Pub sub meaning publisher and then subscriber concept. Yeah. Okay. Is there any security problem with S3 for static website? No. There will not be any security issues. But the thing is, AWS will provide all the weapons. We need to use that weapon. If you are going for a war, will you go barehandedly? So you saw Bahubali, right? A lot of equipments will be there, right? So similarly here also, right? So if Bahubali says that no, I'll just go directly just like that, no problem. It's a problem, right? So similarly here also, I gave the best example of what Sulabh complex example, right? So if you went to the washroom, if you don't put the locker, whose problem is it? Your problem or Sulabh complex, the waiter problem? Your problem, right? Right. So we will be securing we will be securing here, say after setting up a static website, there are few things that how to secure it. We will talk when we go deeper into the topic. Is it clear on S3 till now? Now, let's go to one powerful topic, guys. Powerful topic. What if I lost the key of an object stored in S3? Is the way to retrieve the object? Yes, Shekhar Babu. We have a concept of versioning concept. As I said, S3 I have just introduced to you. Did I went deeper into the topic? No. When we go deeper into the topic, remember, guys, previously we had basics we have learned, right? That was teaser. That was completely a teaser. Now what is happening? Trailer is running. Trailer is running. After completing these overviews, then we will go deeper into each service or not. That will the actual picture. Picture abhi baki hai those. Now let's enjoy the trailer part. Okay. Shekhar Babu, that is possible. We can retrieve it. Okay. Online, everyone, are you with me? I think I know in which situations that you are listening my class. First of all, sit properly, get up and sit properly. Right? I know most of the people are lying on the beds and then aram say, right? Okay. And guys, I'm just hinting you, this topic is super important because this topic will carry till end of the course. So please concentrate this topic. It's very important. I'll make it easy, right? But concentrate. Okay. See, now we are talking about here EBS. Say that. Elastic block storage. Say that. Say that one more time. S3 was what type of storage? What based storage? Object based storage. S3 was object based storage. EBS is what based storage? Block based storage. Two certification questions here. S3 was object based storage. EBS is block based storage. What is the difference? I'll tell. See, first of all, you want to purchase a laptop. Where do you go? You go to the shop. You go to the shop. You go to the shop and then you are purchasing the laptop. So with that laptop, what are the default things that you get inside the laptop? Inside the laptop. Okay, hardware is fine without, okay, fine. RAM, what is another one you said? Hard disk. Hard disk will be there. Let's come to that point, hard disk point. Hard disk will be there or not? Without hard disk, can laptop will work? We have a hard disk or not? We'll get by default or not? What does that hard disk contain? What is that? OS. What does the hard disk contain here? OS. So hard disk contain, that means it contains C drive or not? It contains C drive. What does the C drive contain? OS. What does the C drive contain? OS. Say that. What does C drive contain? OS. What is the default thing that you get from your laptop? OS. What is the default thing that you get from the laptop? OS. Where is that OS sitting? Inside the hard disk. Yes or no? Yes or no? Okay, now, from now onwards, we also need to launch EC2 instance are there. How many steps are there to launch an EC2 instance? 7 steps. How many steps? 7. So we need to also go and launch EC2 instance or not? Okay, now, if you want to launch an EC2 instance, that EC2 also contain operating system or not? How your laptop is getting by default operating system whenever you're launching the EC2 instance? EC2 instance will also get a default operating system. Where that operating system contains? Inside the hard disk. Louder. Inside the hard disk. So from now onwards, we should not call it as hard disk. From here, we should call it as volumes. Say that. Volume. What volume is this? EBS volume. Say that, Nana. What is hard disk called? Volume. What volume? EBS volume. Very, very important. What is hard disk called in EC2? Volume. Volumes are coming from which one? EBS volume. What's the full form of EBS? Elastic Block Storage. Okay, see. Now, here, this is the EC2 instance. This is the EC2 instance. So whenever you are launching the EC2 instance, you will get a default hard disk or not? Instead of calling hard disk, what should I call? Now what I call here? Default volume. What volume? Default volume. Try to learn these wordings, right? So whenever you launch the EC2 instance, you will get the default volume or not? So this is the default volume. The default volume is nothing but C drive or not? This is C drive. What is the C drive contain? OS. What does C drive contain? OS. Nana, this is called default volume or not? Instead of calling default volume, we should call it as root volume. Say that. Say that. Now question for you. How many steps are there to launch an EC2 instance? 7 steps. While launching the EC2 instance, you will get a default volume. What volume is that? Root volume. What does the root volume contain? Operating system. How many root volumes per EC2 instance you can have? Louder, strong, confidently. 1 or 2 or 3? 1. How many for your laptop? How many operating system will be there? Only 1, right? So confident, right? So how many root volumes you can have per EC2 instance? 1. But for your laptop, D drives will also be there or not? D drives will be there or not? So here also, the C drive is called root volume. Nana, wherever you see operating system, which volume is that? Root volume. What does the root volume contain? Operating system. And here, the rest of the volumes are called additional volumes. Say that. Additional volume. Here we call it as here additional volume. Additional volume. This is our D drive or not? Okay, question for you. Can we have multiple additional volumes? Yes. How many root volumes? 1. Can we have multiple additional volumes? How many? 2, 3, 4, 10. How many alphabets that you have? Those many alphabets you can have. Yes or no? What does the D drive contain? Data. Very good. What does the D drive contain? Data. Nana, is it good to keep the data in your C drive? You have laptops, right? So do you keep your data in C drive? No, right? Why? Someone said, sir. That's one. Huh? Because if just in case if OS crashes, you lose the data. And also another thing is, whenever you're reading and writing on your data in a C drive operating system is also working. And also on the same drive, you are using your own data. Unless there will be performance issues will come or not. So it is not at all recommended to keep the data in your C drive where you have the operating system. So that's the reason we created different volume. What this volume called? Additional volume. Now this is virtualization concept. Yes or no? It is physical machine or virtual machine? Virtual machine. As this is virtual machine, So we have here EBS. What is the full form of EBS? Elastic block storage. Now, elastic block storage is a centralized storage. What is that? It's a centralized storage. If you want a volume, create in EBS and then attach to the EC2 instance. Create volume and then attach volume. Say that. Create volume, attach volume. If you don't want that volume, what you do? Detach volume. Volumes can be attached, volumes can be detached anytime. Virtualization, yes or no? So can you detach your hard disk, physical hard disk for your physical laptop? No, right? If you want to open this and then take it out, but can you put it? You can put it back. That easy? It's not easy. But here in EC2 instance, anytime you can create a volume, anytime you can attach or detach. So here you create a volume in EBS and then you same volume you can attach it. You can attach or you can detach. Anytime you can attach, anytime you can detach. What is the purpose of detach? I don't want D drive. What you do? Detach. Simple as that. Getting it? Online, getting it. But when we create the VM for X users, always looks like only one drive. Will be that is correct? Yes. So for everyone, it is only one single drive only. Yes, Pranjal. Okay. Guys, you're getting it? Okay. Questions for you here. What is the full form of EBS? Elastic block storage. What is hard disk called in EC2? Volume. So what volumes are these? EBS volumes. What volumes? EBS volumes. How many steps are there to launch EC2 instance? 7. While launching the EC2 instance, a default volume will come. What volume is that? Root volume. What does the root volume contains? OS. Whenever you see any volume which contain OS inside it, which volume that you call? Root volume. We should call it as root volume. What are the rest of the volumes called? Additional volumes. What are the rest of the volumes called? Additional volumes. So what does the additional volume contain? Data. Would you keep the data in your C drive in a root volume? Not recommended. Volumes anytime can be attached, anytime can be detached. Got the point? Online, is this clear, Nana, till here, everyone? Okay, so there is a question went up, Nagesh Rao. Sir, S3 is there now. What is the importance of EBS? Guys, so block storage. No, this EBS is block storage, block-based storage. What is that? Block-based. What is the meaning of block-based storage? Meaning in S3 is what based storage? Object-based storage. In S3, we can upload the files and access the files. Is it possible to install? Is it possible to execute? Is it possible to run? Nothing. But whereas in block storage, that meaning which you are talking about here, similarly like your hard disk. In your laptop also you have a hard disk or not? In your hard disk, can you create files? Can you delete files? Can you install files? Can you run files? Can you execute files? Everything can be done or not? That is block storage. Whereas our volumes are also block storage. There are no restrictions. You can use it. Yes, you can use it, Ajit. You can use. Here we use NAS. Okay, objects, Manoj, object-based storage where we can just access the files. You cannot run, install, execute the files. Whereas block-based storage, you can do everything. Okay. All right. Yes, correct, Nageshwara. Online, is this clear, Nana, till here, everyone? Okay. So now, when I said the default, when I said the root volume which contains OS, Nana, there are two types of OSs here. What are those? Operating systems. How many types are there? Windows, another one. What are you thinking? Windows and Linux. I said, whatever that you get in your mind, first of all, speak out. I'll tell that is correct or wrong. Okay? Don't stress, don't put your answers in your throat. Okay. So I said Windows and then Linux. So Windows, that every laptop has your own Windows operating system, and also Linux. So Linux is one we'll be learning in coming days. So here, coming to Windows, let's talk about Windows because everyone knows Windows. There are mainly two types of operating systems here. How many types? Two types. One is, we call it as client-side OS. What is that? Client-side OS. And another one, we call it as server-side OS. So client-side and then server-side. Now, whenever you're launching the EC2 instance, automatically AWS is giving the OS for you, right? So you need to select either it is Windows or Linux. If it is Windows, does AWS will provide client-side OS or server-side OS? That's the question. Okay, let me give you some example. Client-side OS meaning it contains, what is your laptop contain? Windows? Windows what? Which version? 10, Windows 11. Server-side meaning here, Windows Server 2022, 23, 24, 25, like this, or you have Ubuntu, Red Hat for Linux machines, right? CentOS, Amazon Linux. There's so many things are there. Now tell me, our EC2, our AWS EC2 provides client-side operating system or server-side? Server-side. Remember, it doesn't provide client-side. Client-side meaning the operating system which is in your laptops. In your laptops. Do you think the servers in the backend contains Windows 10 that you are using? That is client-side operating system. On the server side, that is completely different operating system. We call it as server-side operating system. For example, is Windows Server 2022, 2023, 2024. Like this, we have server-side. Remember now, tell me the answer. EC2 supports which type of operating system? Client-side or server-side? Server-side. Does it provide client-side? No. If you have OS on the volume, what is that volume called? Root volume. How many root volumes you can have per EC2 instance? One. Okay. How many operating systems are there mainly? Two. Windows, Linux. Okay, see, when you're launching the EC2 instance, a default volume will come. What does the default volume contains? OS. Root volume. So for Windows, what is the default size that AWS is providing? 30 GB. Say that. What is the Windows C drive size? 30 GB is default. Coming to Linux, 8 or 10 GB. Say that. Question. So when you're launching the Windows EC2 instance, what is the root volume default size? 30 GB. For Linux, 8 or 10 GB. Again, for Windows, 30 GB. Linux, 8 or 10 GB. You're getting it? Okay, question. Sir, 30 GB is not sufficient, sir. Is it sufficient? 30 GB C drive is sufficient. How much is in your laptop? C drive? 2 TB. Wow, see. How much is yours? Tell me. 500 GB. Minimum 500 GB will be there or not? Your laptop C drive itself has 500 GB. EC2 instance default size is 30 GB. Do you think that is the maximum? No. So guys, maximum size of the volume, that can be root volume also, that can be additional volume also, any volume. Maximum size, you know how much we can create? 16 terabyte. How much? 16 TB. 16 TB. What is the maximum volume size? 16 TB. So that is maximum. But what is the default that you get? 30. But the question here is it possible to increase the volume size? Answer is yes. The twist here is you can increase the volume size on fly. On fly. What's the meaning of on fly? No downtime. On fly meaning here, no downtime. See here, guys. Now I have this EC2 instance. How much is C drive here? How much is C drive? Size 30 GB. How much is that? 30 GB. Now my customer or my user said, hey, my C drive is full. Generally, you tell me. Generally, I'm asking the question. So generally, I'm asking the question. See here. You have EC2 instance or you have a EC2 instance. C drive is 30 GB. And customer came to you and said, hey, C drive's 30 GB is full. What will you do? Normal, general question. Don't think about this topic. Generally, what you do? Generally, what you do? You are in the virtualization. I'm talking about EC2 only. In EC2, C drive is full. What will you do? What is the first thing that you get in your mind? Increase. What is that? Increase. Yes or no? If the C drive 30 GB is full, what we can do? We can increase. Or another one you said here. Someone said here. So another one here is, the first option is either you can increase the size or you can have additional volume. D drive. If C drive is full, if C drive is full, if C drive is full, can you add D drive? Yes, we can add. No. But that will not be sufficient. If the C drive is full, what you need to do now? You need to increase the size. Either you can increase the size. Another option is add a new volume called additional volume. So here the question is, if you want to increase the size of the volume, you no need to stop the EC2 instance. Very nice, right? So you no need to stop the EC2 instance. You can increase the size on fly. That meaning no downtime is required. You can increase the volume size on fly. Okay, question for you again. I'm asking. So if the C drive or D drive, any drive is full, can we increase it on fly? Yes. Do we need any downtime? No. What is the maximum size that you can increase? 16 terabyte. Okay. Now, let's say for example, Tarun. So Tarun is here. So I have asked that Tarun go ahead and then create 50 GB volume. I asked, go and create how much GB volume? 50 GB volume, I said. He said, okay, sir, I'll create. Guys, whenever you're creating the volume, that is a root volume or additional volume? Additional. Is it possible to create root volume? No, because root volume will come by default. Okay, so now I have asked, hey, Tarun, go ahead and create 50 GB volume. He said, yes, sir, I'll create. What he did, he went and there is a button called create volume. He clicked and how much size here? How much size? 50. He put 5, 0 and Pusuku, what he did? He put one more 0 and created it. How much is that? 500. How much I asked? 50. How much he created? 500. Correct or wrong? Wrong. What should you do now? What will you do? He did not attach yet. What he did, he simply created a volume here. He is not attached yet. He created a volume, that's it. And I asked 50 GB, but he has created 500. What will you do? That is one option. Another option? Decrease is one option. Another option? Delete and read. Fantastic. That's what I'm asking you. Run your brain. If you run your brain, you'll get the answers. I said this. You are already genius. You just need to come out. Okay. What the two answer is correct. But the thing is here, the option number one is you need to decrease the size. But the problem here is in AWS, you can increase, but you cannot decrease. There is no option in AWS here. You cannot decrease the volume size. If you cannot decrease the volume size, what will I do keeping 500 GB? What I need to do now? Delete it and then recreate it. This time be careful and then create only 50. But sir, if I have data inside it, take the backup. Take out the data, delete it, and then create a 50 GB, put the data back. You're getting it? Can you guys understood? Is it possible to increase the volume size? Yes, but is it possible to decrease the volume size? No. What do you need to do if you want to decrease? Delete the volume and then recreate it based on the requirement. Super. Okay. Is it clear till here, everyone? Does the delete the size, do we need to downtime? No need. Okay, see here. This is the EC2. What is the default volume that you get? Root volume. So I'm talking about the additional volume. What Tarun did, he created a volume. First, you need to create the volume. How much GB? 50 GB. So he created the volume. Assume that he has already attached. He has attached the machine to the machine. Then what I did, I logged into the machine and saw, this is 500. Tarun, I asked 50. You created 500. Do something. What you need to do? Excellent. First, you need to detach. Now, can you delete the volume while it is in attached state? What you need to do? Detach. So detach the volume and then what you do? Delete the volume. And then create with 50 GB, and then what you do? Attach it. It's all about assembling it. You getting it? Whenever you want, attach it. Whenever you don't want, detach it. Clear? Online, Nana, is this clear? It is clear? CC? Okay. Question for you. Based on this knowledge, tell me, one volume can be attached to multiple EC2 instances at the same time? One volume can be attached to multiple EC2 instances at the same time? Answer is no. Similarly, one, like your personal example, you have a laptop, right? And you have a hard disk, right? One hard disk can be attached to multiple laptops? No, right? Similarly, here also, laptop is nothing but EC2, hard disk is nothing but volume. One volume can be attached to multiple EC2? No. But I am putting a star mark there. What I'm putting? Star mark meaning what? So generally, college people will say important question. Right? So it's not important question here. So what I'm saying is, there is something. So there is one dialogue. Right? So remember this. I'll talk about this topic later again. So now the question here is it possible to attach one single volume to multiple EC2 instances at the same time? Answer is no. Pakka no. But in future, there is one topic where I would say yes at that time. But now, no. Remember, by default, no. Okay. But there is there are something else, some technical thing where we can do it. But I'll talk about that later when we go deeper into EC2 section. Okay. All right. Let's say you have a pen drive now. What do you have? Pen drive. Before that question, let me ask one more question. Tarun created volume, additional volume, 100 GB. How much GB? He created. And he has attached to the EC2 instance. He has attached. And then I started putting the data. And how much GB it reached? 50 GB. Now question for you is, does AWS charge for 50 GB or 100 GB? 50 or 100? 100? 50? I say 50, you say 100. 100, you say 50. What is the answer? Online. What is your answer, ma? Okay. Let me relate to your personal example. Okay. In your personal example, 100% you will give a right answer. But coming to technical, you will say wrong. Okay, see. So your personal example here is, you went to restaurant, right? And you ordered biryani. How much is biryani? Family pack. I'll take family pack. How much is that? 500, huh? Okay, example. Let's say 500. So you ordered family pack and he served and you ate only half of it. Now tell me how much money will he pay? Will he pay? 500 or 250? Why 500? You ate only half, no? But you ordered. If you are alone and if you know the capacity, why did you order family? You order only single biryani, no? Why did you order 500? Because you don't know the capacity planning. So here also same thing. So here you ordered how much from AWS? 100 GB. From AWS already wrote in diary that how much you have purchased? 100 GB. So AWS already billed for how much? 100 GB. And whether you're using 50 GB or 20 GB or 30 GB doesn't matter at all. By the way, does AWS has access inside the machine? Does AWS has access inside the machine? And how does AWS know how much data that you have put inside? Point, no? Point to be noted, huh? Yes or no? For that reason, this is a certification question. AWS will charge for how much that you have created initially. Remember, for how much they will charge here? 100 GB, not 50. Okay. Okay, now. So another one here is, let's say you attach a pen drive to your laptop. It will create a temporary drive or not? Some E drive, F drive will be created. Yes or no? So similarly here also, whenever you're attaching the additional volume, no. Right? Whenever you're attaching the additional volume, you have something called device name. Say that. Very important. Online put it in. What is that? Device name. Little bit concentrate. Topic concentrate. We have something called device name. Whenever you're attaching the volumes, one second, guys. Okay, so I might forget. So announcement came. So tomorrow we have class. Okay, tomorrow is Saturday. I told you, no, classes will be running from Monday to Saturday. So tomorrow we have class, remember. And then do not miss the classes, because you see we have entered into the topics. So if you miss, not good. Okay, because I told you, no, please block these 4 months with me. I'll kick whatever the topics, everything in your brains. But if you miss, continuity problem will come. Understood? Assume that today people have missed the class. Today, what are the topic? Important topics, right? EBS, volumes. Tomorrow, later, when I talk about root volume, they'll say, sir, what is root volume? That's the reason. Do not miss the class. Okay, see here. So, whenever you attach a pen drive, you create a temporary name there. C drive, F drive, G drive, or something, E drive, like this. Here also, whenever you attach a volume, you have something called device name. What is that? Device. Whenever you're attaching a volume to the EC2 instance, so for that you need to give the device name. So root volume device name is /dev/sda1. Say that one more time. One more time. What is the root volume device name? Okay, that is root volume device name. And what is the additional volume device name? /dev/sd. Don't put A1, put B, E, F, anything you can put. Very, very important. Okay, but for some Ubuntu machines, /dev/xvda will be very rare. XVDA, say that. /dev/xvda. Now question for you. What is the root volume device name? /dev/sda1. Remember, root volume is always mounted with what name? /dev/sda1. Root volume is always mounted or always attached or always has a device name called /dev/sda1. Why? And what are the others contain? /dev/sd. Is it good put to A1? No. Apart from A1, you can use anything. A1 is dedicated for root volume. The question why, sir, is question if you say why, then whenever you start the EC2 instance, it needs to boot, right? Whenever you switch on the laptop, what will it will boot from your operating system? Yes or no? Where is your operating system? C drive. That pointing will be there in your laptop or not? Whenever you switch on the laptop, your laptop will go to C drive. Will it go to D drive or C drive? C drive. How? It has a device name inside. Similarly, EC2 also, whenever you launch or start the EC2 instance, it needs to boot, right? So EC2 instance will check, where is /dev/sda1? Because in EC2 we might have C drive also, D drive also, E drive also, F drive also. If you have multiple volumes, where does our EC2 instance will go and check? Where is my operating system using this device name? If you have not put /dev/sda1, will the EC2 instance will boot? Can you log into the machine? No. For that reason, remember, so always your root volume should be, what is the device name? /dev/sda1. If you are not mounting this without this name, your machine will not come up. Remember that. Is that clear? What is the root volume device name? Now question for you. Certification question. Should I ask? Okay. Listen carefully. Is it possible to detach the root volume while EC2 is running? Answer is no. Why? It is a OS. It has what? OS. What you need to do if you want to detach? Stop the EC2 instance. What you need to do now? Stop the EC2 instance. Stop the EC2 instance and then detach it. Another question. Is it possible to detach the additional volume while EC2 is running? Answer is yes. Why? It has only data. But is it recommended to detach like that? No, it is not recommended, but it is possible to detach. Yes, can detach. Can you delete the volume while it is in the attached state? No, what you need to do? Detach and then delete it. You're getting it? Topics, concepts. Okay? Okay. This EC2 instance, you tell me in which availability zone we launch? Which availability zone? Tell me, guys. 1A. It can be in 1A. It can be in 1B. It can be in 1C. Can we launch EC2 instance in 1A? 1B? 1C? Anywhere you can launch. Which region we are using? Mumbai. So now question for you here is, EC2 instance has availability zone or not? Yes. EC2 instance has availability zone. Now the question here is, your EC2 instance is in 1A. 1A meaning technically a data center or not? Your volumes should be in 1A na? In same data center or different data center? So volume should be also in 1A na? Or can be in 1B? 1A. So EC2 instance, volumes, they both should be inside the same availability zone. Certification question. Technically think. So you have EC2 instance in 1A. Is it good to have your volumes in 1B? 1B meaning another data center, no? Somewhere from another data center, 1B you need to contain then attach it. So you have a lot of latency issues or not? So for that reason here, remember EC2 instance and volumes, they both should be inside the same availability zone. Question for you now is, I have one EC2 instance in 1A. I have volume 1B. 1B can be attached to 1A EC2 instance. 1B volume can be attached to 1A EC2 instance. EC2 instance 1A, volume 1B. 1B volume can be attached to 1A EC2 instance. Answer is no. I told you EC2 instance and volume, they both should be inside the same available zone. 1A volume can be attached to 1B EC2 instance. No. 1A volume can be attached to 1B EC2 instance. No. 1B volume can be attached to 1A EC2 instance. No. 1A volume can be attached to 1A EC2 instance. Yes. 1B volume can be attached to 1B EC2 instance. Yes. Same. Yes. Different. No. Okay. Same, but different. Huh? Okay. Okay. Is it clear the topic? Right? EC2 instance and volume should be inside the same availability zone. Online clear, Nana? Super. Okay, see here. I have these EC2 instances. How many are there? 4. And for obviously they have their own. What is that volume? Call it as root volume. Don't call the default. Of course, that is default, but we should call it always as root volume. Okay, now I have this volume created. You tell me, can I mount this single volume to all EC2 instances at the same time? Answer is no. But why I have this concept called one volume I need to share to all EC2 instances? Because I need something called shared storage. What I need? Shared storage. You have 4 EC2 instances. Okay, let's say you are all having laptops. I want to share some file. What should I do? Tell me. Tell me, think and tell me. You have all your laptops, no? I want to share one file to you. Tell me, how? Should I share individually to everyone? What should I do? Group? Huh? Share? Oh, share, but they don't know. Put it in? Whose drive? Share the drive. So where? So I'll put it in some drive. It can be my laptop or it can be any laptop. I share that drive to everyone, and everyone can connect to that drive or not. So there's nothing but shared storage or not. Yes or no? That meaning all people are connected to one storage. That's the thing here. All EC2 instances are connected to one storage. But is it possible with the volume? No. Then I want to share how. We will discuss tomorrow. Okay? We'll discuss really tomorrow. Don't worry on the topic. So let us stop till here because let's go slowly one by one. Okay? Now, questions for you. Is it clear till here, everyone? So let's see. You think that we have learned a lot of things today, but I bet. Let me ask the questions. Fatafat, you will answer it. Sure, let's do. Okay, online ready? Everyone, I want you guys to put answers in the chat and offline try to answer it. Okay. I have a lot of files and photos, videos. Which service do you recommend to put? S3, full form of S3. Simple storage service. Okay. Everything in AWS services will start with simple, end with service. Very good. S3 is server based or serverless? Serverless. S3 is limited storage or unlimited storage? Unlimited storage. In S3, we can store any kind of files or not? In S3, is it possible to execute, run, install? Nothing. So, what do we create in S3? What do we create in S3? Buckets. First, buckets. And then what does the bucket contain? Objects. What is the name of the object called? Name of the object? Key. Okay, again, what is a bucket? Container of objects. What is an object? Object is a file. What is the name of the file called? Key. S3 is what based storage? Object based storage. S3 is what based storage? Object based storage. And then S3 is global or regional? Regional. Buckets are regional. Which is a service used to send notifications? SNS. Which is a service used to send emails? SES. Which is a service for queues? SQS. S3 supports static website hosting or not? Yes. Very good. Don't see that. See me? Look into my eyes. See. And what is the full form of EBS? Elastic Block Storage. EBS is what based storage? Block based storage. What based storage? What based storage. And what is hard disk called? Volume. What volumes? EBS volumes. How many steps are there to launch EC2 instance? 7. While launching the EC2 instance, a default volume will come. What volume is that? Root volume. What does the root volume contain? OS. So EC2 supports server side or client side OS? Server side. If you have OS in the volume is called root volume. EC2 instance has how many root volumes? 1. EC2 instance can have multiple additional volumes? Yes. What is the maximum size of the volume? Maximum size 16 terabyte. How much? 16 terabyte. What is the default Windows size? C drive 30. Linux 8 or 10 GB. And AWS will charge based on how much you have created the volume or how much you use the volume. How much you created it. So can you attach one single volume to multiple EC2 instances at the same time? No. Volume size can be increased on fly? Yes. Do you need any downtime? What do you need to do? No. Do you need to stop the machine? No need. Volume size can be decreased? Answer is no. What do you need to do if you want to decrease? Delete it and then recreate it. Okay. And then what is the root volume device name? /dev/SDA1. Is it possible to detach the additional root volume while EC2 is running? No. What do you need to do? Stop the EC2 instance first and then detach it. Is it possible to detach the additional volume while EC2 is running? Yes. Is it recommended? Not recommended. EC2 instance and volume, they both should be in the same availability zone or different availability zone? Same availability zone. Do you see this here? This EC2 instance is in 1A. See my here paint. This EC2 instance is in 1A. This EC2 instance is in 1B. And it has its own volume. It has its own volume. Can I detach this, attach it here, attach it here? No, that is not possible. Why it is not possible? Because they both are in the different availability zone. But volumes in the same availability zone can be attached. You're getting it? And you have multiple EC2 instances. One volume can be shared? No. What if I need to have a shared storage? We will see tomorrow. Injected? Simple, easy. Simple storage service. Simple learning process. Right? Super, Nana. Fantastic. Any questions? If not, take the screenshot. Take a photo. Don't worry, I'll share all these things in Google Classroom. Next. This is just for your reference. While coming to the class tomorrow, just go through it because I'll be asking the questions again. Shootout will be there. So it will be better for you to revise. No need to revise, but good for you. Okay. Any questions online? No? Okay. Okay. Sir, please start sharing the classwork, note some related material in Google Drive. Yes, we will do that, Srinivas. PPTs. Oh. Yeah. No. So not Google Drive, Srinivas. So everyone will get Google Classroom access. So I'll be uploading a few documents there, so you can go through it. All right. So any questions? If not, can I give me the final CC for today, please, online? CC. I know that you guys are enjoying the class, but yeah, please, I want the same energy, same thing, same count, so that we can learn each and everything. Just be regular to the classes. That's what I can say. So that is all for today. And tomorrow we have class. Okay. Don't forget, tomorrow we have class. And tomorrow we'll be going for many services. Today, actually, S3 is one service, SNS, SES, SQS, EBS is not a service. This will come under EC2 only. Right? So today, 4 services we have covered. Right? And tomorrow will be many more services. Small, many will be there. So don't miss the class. Okay? So that's all. Let's connect tomorrow with the next wonderful topic. Until then, take care, guys. Have a nice day. See you tomorrow. Don't miss the class. Bye-bye.